Hi, I'm back. I want to go ahead and give you guys a summary of everything, of all the different stages, show you the wiring, the controllers, the switch panel, or the power relay switch, etc. This whole project, where things stand, so you can see all of the different stages as it's gone. First stop, the utility room where the Rainbird controller is inside. So I'm inside the utility room where the Rainbird controller is. We'll go ahead and pop the cover off here. Quick enough. Okay. As you can see, we have the power coming down and in. And for here, this is a 24 volt converter. That's coming into the first two wires for the 24 volt. Doesn't matter which wire, just 24. These came in as they started, so that's untouched. Next, we have the C, the common. The common is your white wire. The neutral is if it was in regular electrical wiring. The next one is the M, or the master valve, or in this case, it's the power. It's the power to the actual pump or the pump relay. And since that's primarily drawing the power, that I have as the black wire. Then zones 1 through 8 on this system, I have set up based off of the colors of the rainbow. So I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and then brown. So that's my inside setup. We'll go ahead and we'll take you out to the lake where the pump relay and the first zone of 3 exists. Okay, now on to the electrical. As you can see here, I'm at the valve zone 1, 2, and 3 over here, the electrical here. So I have the main power coming up from the house up to the first unit, and there's a GFCI breaker in there. Then, I'm going to get in close here, I have 2 electrical outlets. And as you can see, neither one of them are connected directly. So it's not like I'm taking power from this one and connecting it to this one. So from the side, you can see I have power coming from the bottom, coming up and in, into this electrical outlet just for, outside I'm hooking up a radio or whatever, Then from here, the power continues up, comes up on this side, and connects in my black and the white to the L1 in for the black and the L2 in for the white wire. Then on this side, I have the L1 out and the L2 out, which is the black and white when the power comes on. So I've taken those wires, brought it down into this unit to now this electrical outlet. So now this outlet is going to be hot when this pump relay is turned on. Now for the pump relay, if you remember from inside when I was describing the controller, typical electrical wiring is black and white wires. So we have black and white in here, we have our black and white coming through here, we have our black and white coming down. So from the sprinkler wire, I have coming from the valve control box down through this conduit, and now I'm tricking it here. I'm coming up from the bottom. You can see I've got my whole wrap of 10 wires in here, but I'm passing them up here, but I'm only sending up the black and the white because the black and the white is the power and the neutral. So now I've got my power and the neutral connected to the relay switch. That makes everything work. So now when my pump is plugged in and that relay switch kicks on, it is turning power down to this outlet, and only then does it come to here. Now onto the zones. In this first zone valve box, I have my 3 set up. Okay, so I have my white neutral wires connected together, plus I have them wrapped together with 3 other wires, which is for zone 1, 2, and 3. And then the second wire of each one connects to the red, orange, and yellow respectively for zone 1, 2, 3, the rainbow, red, orange, yellow. My zones. First zone is the sprinkler head, the first zone is the garden hose spigots that I have here, and also another one in the front area. The second zone is the backyard, of which I have a sprinkler head right about here. My second sprinkler head is right back here at the concrete. My third sprinkler head is down here. And those rotor heads will cover this entire backyard area. That's zone 2. Zone 3, I have stubbed up. And again, I have it stubbed up, and the sprinkler is right here, right on the outside of the concrete. And I don't have that done because as the construction is going on this neighboring house, I don't want anything to get dug up and busted while the landscape is getting finished up between the properties. But at least it's stubbed out, and I've got a cap on the end so at least pressure can be put in there and this sprinkler works. Now going to the second side. Bear with me. So in an earlier video I showed the trenching, how I'm 3 lines here. One of them is coming over to feed the supply for the backyard rotor. The second line is for the garden hose to go up to the front yard, and the third line is to be the water main going up to the next valve of 3. So as they come through, I've tunneled under the sidewalk, simple elbow, going straight up the yard. And as I was discussing earlier about rocks and stuff, here's a sample of some of the rocks and some of the bigger ones. I'm not using all this rock infested dirt to backfill, because then if I have to dig it up again, I have to dig up rocks. So I'm just putting this in with clean topsoil. Here's a huge tree that I had to get rid of in order to get my lines run. Comes through, going up, and as you can see, I've got a start of one sprinkler head, another one, a third up, and then up to the air conditioning unit. This brings us to our second set zone of 3 valves, of which my fourth zone is this one here, where this one, when it opens up, it comes down, hits my first sprinkler unit in front of it here, and then 2, 3, and 4 take me back along the side. So that takes care of the side yard. 5 and 6, they're stubbed out. They're also capped, ready to go. And I have a whole bunch of yard work that's going on. But as you can see, I've got it capped, so at least they're out of the way as I'm working on another front yard project. So at least I know that when I'm digging here, I'm not interrupting anything. So that's the full setup. All the wires, everything all situated. And as of now, everything's working perfectly. The Rainbird controller, the Orbit pump start relay, the sprinkler heads, they're all running without any problem. And it's all working based off of a 1-inch, or all 1-inch piping, and all off of a 1 horsepower sprinkler pump pulling water off the lake as opposed to public water.